Well, hello there, Spooky. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Nope, can't see you at all. And there's Fluffy. We can't see him either, can we? No. Well, yeah. Let me turn on the porch light for y'all, okay? Hold on. Oh, there you are, Spooky. There you are, Spooky. I can see you now. No, you're in my shadow. I can't see you. You're a black cat. What about you, Fluffy? How you doing? I can barely see you, Fluffy, even with the porch light on. Huh. Yep. Did you enjoy your treats? You did? Still got plenty of food? Plenty of water? Okay. Well, I thought I'd come back out here and sit with you a little while, and we can just see if our friends and family will show up, okay? Yep. Maybe they will. We can chat a while. Okay? Well, the sun's almost totally down. It's fading to the sunset to the west. And boy, it's been a hot one today. 94 degrees. Yeah. I didn't really want to be out here much. And I wasn't. But me and old Gracie, we've been working on the pantry still. We got a ways to go. But there's always another day. Oh, you my Fluffy? Yeah, we got to get you up to the vet this week. I'll call tomorrow. We'll see if we can get you an appointment. Okay? Yeah. You got to go, so man up, okay? Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. So good to see you on this Sunday evening. Yeah, I want to thank y'all for stopping by. And as always, if you got a minute and got the time to sit with us a while, we sure would appreciate it. We always love it when you stop by. So hey, grab a chair, cold drink and snack, and let's chat while the sun goes down here in Mr. Tom's neighborhood. Okay? So I came out here a little bit earlier and was giving the kitty crew some treats, which I might add come from all of you, and we're very thankful for that. In fact, we got a small package just the other day, right off the hand. I can't remember who sent it, but we want to say thank you. We always do appreciate when y'all are so kind to send the kitties some treats and what have you. But when I was out here earlier, sitting with them, giving them their treats, I was thinking about some comments, and a couple had asked how the kitty crew was, getting along. Well, that's still tentative. Fluffy Muffin is a very clingy and very jealous kitty. Yes, he is. And I guess it's just a trait of the breed. Some of you said Fluffy Muffin was a Siamese, and that may be true. But I've been doing some research about Fluffy because he has a bobtail, and there's a breed called the Mekong Bobtail. And that particular kitty looks just like Fluffy Muffin does. And they're very rare, so that's sort of strange. But Fluffy has the same markings as a Mekong Bobtail. And the Mekong Bobtail has a lot of the traits of a Siamese. They're very affectionate, very territorial, and very jealous. And Fluffy, he has all of them. He doesn't like Spooky to be near me. Definitely doesn't like Cleo to be near me. And that's created somewhat of a problem. Cleo only comes around now when Fluffy's not here, which is normally once it gets dark. Then Fluffy roams because Fluffy has all of his parts still. Hence why we'll be taking Fluffy to the vet. Oh, sometime here in the coming week, if we can get an appointment. And he'll get his shots. He'll get all checked out, all the other things that I've done with all the other kitties that have come to old Mr. Tom. Yeah. And as all of y'all know who've been with me any length of time, every one of the kitties, other than Trixie, which I had for over 18 years, has been a drop-off, a discarded animal. And so have the doggies that we've gotten in the past. Y'all remember Stella? Yeah. Stella, I would have loved to keep Stella. She was so affectionate, so lovable, and so well trained. But I knew she belonged to somebody, and I knew she was lost. And I found her owner, and I returned her to their owners. And she's just a couple blocks down the street. Every once in a while I drive down by there and check her out. A little musical interlude there as we waited for the car to go by. And when I was out here earlier, I was thinking about all that, about how Fluffy and Spooky and Cleo were getting along. But then your mind, as the sun continues to set, drifts off to other things. And it made me wonder, I know where my mind tends to go when the lights turn low. And I thought I'd ask you, where does your mind go when the lights turn low? Are there certain things you start to think about? Maybe it's remembrances. Remembrances of past good times. Yeah, I often do that. In the early evening or late evening hours, I think about the better times. You know, when the children were growing up, when my parents were alive, my grandparents, even my great-grands. I was fortunate enough, when I was young, to experience and have a short time with some of my grandparents, my great-grandparents, and one of my great-grandparents, my great-grandmother, Westerberg, up in Johnsonburg, PA. She passed in 1970. Yeah, I was 14. That was a sad day. Because actually in my early childhood, I grew up with her. Because that's where we would go when my father was sent overseas. During my very early stages of childhood, my father, he was stationed over in Japan. Then he came back to the States. He was here for a short time, probably less than a year. And then he was re-stationed or deployed over in Korea. And we went back to my great-grandmother's to live again. So up until I was about 5, or maybe it was 6, I primarily lived with my mother, my great-grandmother, in Johnsonburg, PA. I've always said when I retired, I'd go back and visit Johnsonburg. And Bradford, too. That's where my grandparents on my father's side were, which we often visited throughout my childhood. We couldn't do it often. We would do it, every 1 to 2 years. You know how it is if you're a military family. When you get a chance, you go back home. You see all your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. Well, that's what we would do. And they would always be the greatest of times. So yeah, when the lights turn low, I remember those places. And sometimes I'll even get on Google Earth and I'll swoop on down out of the skies. And you know, they have that street view where you can literally walk the streets of whatever town you want to. And I check on my great-grandmother's house. It's still there, much the same as it was in my childhood. It's been updated some, and sold a couple of times. But it just warms my heart, if nothing more, to view it through the screen of my computer or my phone. I enjoy that. Just like I wish I could go and see my grandparents' Himes house in Bradford, PA, on Seward Avenue, it was. But it got demolished when a highway came through. I forget the number of the highway, but it was a 4-lane highway that came right slap through the center of Bradford. And Seward Avenue, or part of it, was taken out to make an exit. It was sort of a funny thing. My grandfather Himes, he didn't call them exits. He calls them exits. That's just how he pronounced it. Yeah, they got bought out of their house, and they bought a little rancher in another part of Bradford. They hated that house because the house on Seward Avenue was rather large, and they had built it with their own hands. My grandfather and my father, along with some uncles and aunts, had actually built the house on Seward Avenue. The little rancher they bought was nothing in comparison to the old big house that they loved all their lives. So yeah, I think about memories of the past. Think about the children growing up. The good times that we all had. The camping trips, the fishing trips. Oh, all kinds of things. Sporting events. That's what, I do. But there are other times, and maybe you do this too, you think about your situation. I think when we're having our hardest times, it's when the evening comes that our mind turns to them. Like, what are we going to do? I've had to put a lot of thought in that lately. Because as most of y'all know, we've been having some rough health issues over the last 3 years or more. And I'm hoping to get over them. No more falls, no more collapses. And I'm doing everything I can. I get beat up here on the channel sometimes for not eating all the greatest food. But here again, you don't see what I do each and every day. Now, granted, I don't eat all organic, all non-GMO, all of that. It just gets back down to basic economics. I eat the best I can when I can. When I'm up to cooking it, yeah, I'd love to cook everything from scratch again. We did that most of our life. In fact, going out to eat, going to eat in restaurants, fast food or what have you, we didn't do a whole lot when the kids were growing up. Maybe once or twice a month, we do a fast food Friday run. You see me do the fast food Fridays here, which is what we used to do with the kids, except what we would do is here were the rules. You could pick whatever you wanted as long as we could run through the drive-thru at some place here in Tallahassee, and we'd pick it up. We'd bring it home, eat it like a family. So I started that a couple of years back with me and the kiddie crew. See, it makes me feel good to remember back when we were doing it with the kids. The kids are gone now. But my new kids happen to be my kiddies. And I would pick them up some of their, they love chicken fingers or chicken, and bring it home. And at that time, when we started it out, I was footing the bill. Then other people started, donating to continue Fast Food Friday, because I had to discontinue it because it just cost them too much. And these videos that I put out, based on my audience and all who watches them, I was losing money on the deal. So when prices went way up, like many things I've had to curtail, I just couldn't do them anymore. But once people started donating, which I might add, we got to do a Fast Food Friday here this month. There's still money in the kitty, as we call it. I checked with Spooky today. The only reason I haven't been up to doing a Fast Food Friday the last few weeks is because of what happened on the 18th with the collapse, which, they said was primarily due to acute enterocolitis, which would be caused by severe food poisoning or norovirus. I went over all that. So I've been a little leery of fast food lately, trying to eat at the house. And it saves money too. And I need to share more of that with you. But I think about memories, both good and bad. I try not to ever dwell on the bad. In fact, my philosophy is, when it comes to bad memories, is just let them go. I've never been a person that dwells on the bad. If you do, that's like self-torture. And I know it's hard to let it go. But try to make it a concerted effort in your life. All those bad memories, just let them fade away. If you work on it, you can make it happen. Because I do. And if you do it long enough, they won't keep coming up. And I've had some really bad ones, so the stories I can tell you, but I won't. They were extremely painful. But I'd rather think about the good memories. But I'm also a realist. So I have to think about current situations. And without getting into all agendas, politics, and all that mess, I try to keep on top of things that are happening that have a direct impact on my life. And I mean, that's used to be job situations, money situations, schooling. There's all kinds of situations that impact your life. I'm not going to get into all of that. But whatever's the most pressing at the time would be on my mind. When we put the kids down, shut down the house, turn the lights down, maybe pick up a book, turn on a show. Really wasn't watching it. It was just background noise. And a lot of times now I'll do that. I'll turn on a movie, YouTube, or whatever while I'm working in the house. Not that I'm really listening to it. It's just there. It's background noise, keeping me company. Yeah, because Gracie don't talk too much. And occasionally I catch bits and pieces. But mostly, I'm concentrating on the task at hand or what I'm thinking about. But it was just like the video I did about Del Monte and the far-reaching impact it will have on everyone. And of course, like I knew in the comment sections below that video, there would be some that they really don't care. They don't buy canned goods at all. But that's why I tried to point out how this will have a cascading effect across things they do care about. I mean, there's X number of people and only so much food. And when you take one big portion of that food away that people depend on every day, whether it's you or not, that's going to slide over into other areas. Like I said, the fresh produce aisle in your favorite grocery store, the fresh produce in your seasonal farmer's market. Oh yeah. It's going to have an impact on the farmers that made a living growing those crops for the canneries. So it's going to put people out of work. It's going to make people lose their farms. And then it just slides off into all other areas. Farming equipment, You may not like it, but there's a lot of people employed in the production of farming chemicals, both good and bad. You know, back in the 70s and 80s, I actually had farms up until the early 90s. And I grew organically. Yeah, I really did. I had my one small farm that was an organic, what they call now an organic market garden farm, where I planted, cared for, harvested all kinds of fresh vegetables and fruits from my local area. Unfortunately, at that particular time, nobody cared or was willing to pay for all organic, no matter how much I preached. So I had to sell all my wholly organic, non-GMO, for the same price as conventional vegetables and fruits were going for in my local area, because people didn't care. If I had a higher price, say for green beans, tomatoes, corn, whatever, no, they just buy the conventional. Yep, and that finally wore me down. But then I had a terrible accident that would make it where I was no longer able to farm. I always had my engineering job. In all truth, my farms were my dream job. I wanted to get them going, get them profitable, which they were. And then I'd quit my engineering job, live on the land, live in the country, raise my children. I thought that was going to be the best of all worlds. That was my utopia dream. And yeah, I suffered a horrendous accident, and that dream vanished before my eyes. But often, my mind goes back to those times too. When my little son, my daughter, were running through the strawberry field, all faces covered in red, their hands, their little coats and jackets. As we were picking the strawberries, they were picking too, but they were eating more than they were putting in the baskets. And that was pretty much the way it went with them picking anything. More went in their faces, which was fine, than went into the tubs and the baskets and what have you. But yeah, that's where my mind goes. But I do think about how things have changed so much. Like, I'm going to tell you what. If somebody would have told me in 2019 we'd be sitting here paying the prices we're paying now on everything, I would have told you was nuts, crazy, insane. Because who would have thought about it back then? But there are agendas behind all of this. You can bet on that. And I've been thinking a lot about that. And as all of y'all know who've been with the channel for any length of time, you know, I do a lot of research, deep dives, and I do that in the late night hours too, when I can't sleep. And I've never slept well for years. I have to force myself to sleep and shut my mind down. Pretty much been that way all my life. Sleep comes hard for me. If I get 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a night, maybe 6, I'm doing just fine. And I know that has a toll on your health. And it's had a toll on mine. But there are times when I can't sleep. It'll be like midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. Shut down the house entirely. Shut everything off. Well, not everything. Not my fridge, my freezers, what have you. But I shut all the media down. If it's nice and cool outside like it's been at night, I open the front door and the back door, and a nice breeze comes sweeping through the house. And I just lay down on the couch and listen. No, it's never silent, but there is some silence. It's a different kind of silence these days. I mean, I can come out here in the darkness of the night, in the wee morning hours, and it still won't be as silent as it once was. I don't think there's a place on earth now where if you actually just sit down, you can hear silence anymore. So yeah, come out here, I sit and think. But that begs the question. And that's why I came out here to talk to all of you. What do you do? What do you think about when the lights turn low? I still gotta eat. I haven't even made supper yet. I got all wound up in that pantry cleaning and other things. And I just let time slide away. But hey, y'all, I got to run on in now. I know this wasn't much, but it's just something to think about. And I know y'all do a lot of thinking out there too. What's on your mind when the lights turn low? Okay? So hey, until the Kitty Crew, you know them all, Spooky, Cleo, Fluffy Muffin, Little Princess of the House. See you on that next video and episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Y'all take care. Stay safe out there. And may God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. We love you for stopping by. Goodbye for now. Fluffy, I can't even see you. I know you're out there. I can see you, but I don't think the friends and family can. Oh, I got to get in and make something to eat. I'm thinking pizza. Yep, I'll catch it for that. Because it's not going to be from scratch, but that's okay. Red Barons come to my rescue a many a day. Later all.